And markets are higher this morning. We are looking ahead to a big week of retail earnings. Once again, a window into the consumer. Dow Industrial's up 142 right now. The S&P up 17 and the Nasdaq higher by 59. Target reporting tomorrow. Lowe's and Kohl's reporting Wednesday. And then there's Macy's out on Thursday. So a pretty good look into consumer spending coming up this week. Ahead of all of that, joining me is Andersen Capital Management Chief Investment Officer Peter Andersen. Also joined the conversation all with the hot topics all morning long as columnist and Fox News contributor Liz Peek and National Taxpayers Union Executive Vice President Brandon Arnold. Great to see everybody this morning. Thank you so much for being here. Peter, your thoughts on where we are? We have a market, of course, that is showing gains year to date in tech. Nasdaq still up on the year, but we're coming off of a pretty tough week. What are you expecting for the rest of the year? How are you invested?
Well, I'm fully invested, Maria. I'm actually having a very, very good 2023, and I expect that to continue, mainly because I'm saying it's the most hated rally. I know there are a lot of people that are not up as much as I am, but I think that the Fed is doing a wonderful job marrying the past hikes that they made with the current decisions they're going to make. I mean, it is a very artful decision process that they're in right now, but I do think that they will reign successfully.
Well, how many times do you get to say that? I know everybody's not up as much as I am. That's a pretty good thing to say, isn't it, Peter? What have you been invested in? Are you invested in growth? Are you riding this wave this year of tech?
Yeah, exactly. Yes. You know, Maria, I had a pretty bad year last year, but I didn't make many changes. And it's turning out to be the right decision for me and my investors. I mean, my top holding is NVIDIA. NVIDIA has taken it on the chin with a lot of criticism this year, you know, saying the stock is up so much, but it was down so much last year. Yeah. And NVIDIA is riding the wave of artificial intelligence. I am very, very excited about AI. I think it's in its infancy stage right now, and it has a very, very long runway. Unlike other asset classes, I mean, even crypto, for instance, I think there's a lot of hope and dreams on that. But AI, I think, is undebatable that this is the way to go.
Yeah, it's a great point to make. You know, looking for the growth in an environment where we're looking at flat macro growth story is probably the best way to go. But let me get your take, Peter, on that macro story, because Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, as well as former Treasury Secretary Larry Summers, both over the weekend saying that more work is needed from the Fed to bring down inflation to that 2% target. I mean, obviously, we're not going to get to the 2% target this year. We're at 6+%. But Larry Summers is going back to his idea that, you know what, we may very well be seeing a recession second half of the year. Let's not count that out. What's your take on that?
Well, I think we have to be a little bit more patient. You know, there's something what I would call inflation gridlock right now, or, you know, a hangover with the supply chain. A lot of us think the supply chain should snap right back. But let me just give you an example. You know, with containerized shipping, the spot rates of those contracts right now, I don't think a lot of people are focusing on this, are back to pre-COVID levels. However,
that's a good point.
The contracts are long-term contracts. So we have to see the contracts that we're seeing now have been in place for 1 or 2 or 3 years. They have to fall off and the new rates will come in. So there's a delay with all this. And I think we're being too impatient with thinking everything should go back to normal. I mean, we're seeing this in spots, and I think the economists are off with this. I think they should be a little bit more broad thinking about this.
Well, it's a good point to make, good indicator to look at the pricing, certainly at shipping. Peter, it's great to see you. Thanks very much for weighing in on all of that. Please come back soon. Peter Andersen joining us this morning. We'll see you soon, Peter.